on your Wi-Fi radio, on your iPhone. Commercial-free, original talk, only on LA Talk Radio, your favorite talk station.
Hi, this is Bobby Rempe from Cleveland, Ohio, and you're listening to BBQ Central.
In a world permeated with barbecue websites under the control of tyrannical administrators, there was one man, a one-man army. He broke all the rules. He allowed his members to speak out, give their opinions, and make the website what it is today. Get ready for Greg Rempe and the BBQ Central Show.
Live from Cleveland, Ohio, it's the BBQ Central Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, the BBQ Central Radio Networks and LA Talk Radio proudly present the BBQ Central Show. Welcome to LA Talk Radio, friends. Thanks for having me. Jam-packed show, so I got to get right into it. Let me give you your contact information first and foremost. Email or phone number 216-220-0966. Email address bbqcentralradio@gmail.com. If you're first time listener to the show, that's how you want to get in. Otherwise, you already know how to do this, and we will start off with a first segment interview, one that we don't usually do. Set up for the rest of the show as follows. Segment 2 and 3, Santa Maria style barbecue with expert Susan Righetti from Susie Q Brand. But joining me now, I wanted to track him down before the big Belmont Stakes takes place here this coming weekend. BBQ Central Radio resident thoroughbred expert Harry DeHorse. Harry, welcome to the show tonight. How are you?
Just give me a table someplace up close to the front. Greg, how are you?
Great, Harry. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm in Belmont, New York, waiting for the big race.
Already there, a couple days in advance, I see.
Well, you know, you got to get in town before the crowd gets here to get the best hotels. Otherwise, you're going to be all the way in the city.
That's right. So a lot to get into here tonight, just in the 4.5 minutes, 5 minutes that we have. Obviously, last leg of the Triple Crown coming up Saturday. So as we look in the two races past, obviously in the Kentucky Derby, Mind That Bird wins. Rachel Alexandra comes by in the second race, that being the Preakness, and wins, definitely not going away, but wins, which sets up, I guess, what some would consider to be a lackluster third leg, because obviously there is no hope for any type of Triple Crown winner, although for those that perhaps are not as insightful or passionate about the sport as you and I are, there actually is a Triple Crown in the wings, and maybe you could expand on that a little bit.
Well, you know, Greg, there's a lot to be excited about this year at the Belmont. Obviously, a lot of people are disappointed that the filly isn't going to go in this one. But I think it's best for the horse, obviously. But you make a good point. Calvin Burrell is going to go for, an unprecedented personal Triple Crown. He'll be the first jockey ever to go all three races. Win all three races on different horses. So that's a big deal. Big crowd, and, not to be too humorous here, but I was going to start tonight by saying this race is really for the blades. You know, you got the Summer Blade, and you've got Mind That Blade in here. Great jockeys, great trainers, a lot of great contests going in this Belmont. I think it could be one of the best we've seen in a long time.
What are the early lines right now? Is Mind That Bird up there to be the favorite now?
Mind That Bird is going to win this race. I'm telling you right now, and he is the early favorite. But I've got a couple of choices for your fans if they're interested.
Yeah, let's go ahead and hear those now, and then we can get into just a little bit of controversy here to wind up the segment.
Mm-hmm. And I think the Mind That Bird is going to take this one, Greg. And I would like to also suggest to your listeners that they might want to take a very close look at the Todd Pletcher entry in Dunkirk. And for those of you who are all fans of the movie Let It Ride, there could be a connection here with a charitable man, and those folks will know what I'm talking about. So I'm looking for Mind That Bird on top with Dunkirk and charitable man underneath.
Sound like you're rolling pretty hard here, Harry. You've had the last couple rough nights, last couple nights?
Well, you know, Greg, when you come up here to Belmont this time of year, there's a great deal of pollen, and I have to be honest with you, you get tied up with the boys and you stay up pretty late.
All right, so we had just mentioned how Calvin Burrell, has the opportunity to win a Triple Crown here as a jockey. I think now, after seeing all these races transpire, with the big uproar that Rachel Alexander did not run in the Kentucky Derby. Obviously, the original ownership had sold her to new ownership, which ran her in the Preakness, and now has decided to go against running her in the Belmont. To me, I think, as a sportsman, as somebody that likes to see the sport of the race, I think this is a terrible move. Why, aside from the business aspect, which I completely understand, but removing that, why bother just dropping her in the middle leg of the race of this Triple Crown? If she is that good of a horse, run her in the Belmont. If she wins the Belmont, then obviously you could go back to original ownership and say we could have possibly had a Triple Crown winner here if you would have ran her in the Derby, but you don't. And if we're being honest, if the Preakness was 500 feet longer, Rachel Alexander stood to lose that race, and we could actually be seeing a potential Triple Crown winner in Mind That Bird.
Well, I think you answered your own question there, Greg, and very astute, I might add. You know, the previous ownership wanted to run fillies with fillies and stallions with stallions. That's why they didn't enter that girl in the Kentucky Derby. When the new owners brought her over to Belmont, to Baltimore, and they ran her in the Preakness, they saw what could happen in a longer race. You know, the value of this filly, looking forward, running against fillies and then beyond to breeding, is enormous. It's enormous. And so when you saw the way that Mind That Bird closed on the filly in the Preakness, it was very apparent that she probably couldn't hold him off for a mile and a half, or possibly some of the others in the Belmont. So you said it best. It was a business decision. All
right, so we'll agree that the money is king, which seems to be more of the spread across each and every sport these days, unfortunately. So we go definitely with a Mind That Bird pick, and then a Dunkirk, and what was the 3-horse?
Charitable Man.
Charitable Man. All right, so that's going to be Harry DeHorse's pick. So we'll try and follow back up with you after the race is run Saturday, and we'll see how that all comes out.
Yeah, Greg, I'd like to take this opportunity, though, to pass my very best wishes along to Renee Douglas, a jockey who was injured very badly here at Arlington. He's off the respirator, and he's doing better. He still has no motion in his legs, but best wishes to he and his lovely bride, Natalie.
Best wishes. All right. Harry, thanks for coming on as always, and we'll run up and catch up with you again soon.
Always a pleasure, Greg.
All right. Harry DeHorse. Gotta love Harry. Guy knows what he's talking about. Let me get out. For all you Centralites that like to get down, just remember what he said. Hope you took notes. If you don't, go ahead and email me. I'll pass you along his picks. We're coming back with 2 segments of Santa Maria-style barbecue. Right after this, stick around. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the BBQ Central Show on LA Talk Radio.
The future of barbecue is already here at thebarbecueguru.com. From the amazing guru that monitors and controls the temperatures of any charcoal, wood, or electric pit to the Caldera Tallboy knockdown smoker. Yes, it breaks down and stores flat, yet it's still a robust, sturdy, portable cooker and smokehouse. It also serves as an efficient temperature-controlled convection oven using wood or charcoal. The Tallboy is designed to fit all catering pans and can be used as a warming oven. You can cook in any style you choose, like ribs, chicken, jerky, vegetables, smoked cheese, whatever you want. Take it to KCBS competitions and unload it from the trunk of your car. TheBarbecueGuru.com is where you'll find the Caldera 3-Bay Caterer. It's stainless steel and uses charcoal or sterno for chafing purposes. And it doubles as a 3-bay sink or wash station with hot water and knocks down in seconds with no tools required for transportation and storage. The future of barbecue is here at thebarbecueguru.com. That's www.thebbqguru.com or call 1-800-288-GURU.
Forget going from site to site to get all your barbecue and grilling supplies and make your first and final stop at fredsmusicandbarbecue.com. In the market for a new barbecue pit, we have all the big name brands like Big Green Egg and more. As a matter of fact, Fred's is staffed by eggheads and carries all the parts and accessories for the Big Green Egg. More of a pellet head, you say? Fred's is the pellet grill superstore with grills in stock from Traeger, Green Mountain, and Country Smokers from Louisiana Grills. Fred also carries smokers from Cook Shack, Bradley, and Weber as well as a full lineup of charcoal grills. And once you're outfitted with your new smoker or grill, you'll find absolutely everything you need to make your barbecue or grilling experience a success. Fred is also the creator and distributor of Tasty Licks barbecue products, including their great line of rubs, spices, and sauces. You gotta try them. You can also get your hands on a full lineup of marinades, accessories, lump charcoal, wood chips, pellets, chunks, and even the great grilling tools from Stephen Reichland of Barbecue U fame. Check Fred out on the web at fredsmusicandbbq.com or check out their fully stocked showroom in beautiful Shillington, PA.
Let's get back to the BBQ Central show on LA Talk Radio.
Back and better than ever, BBQ Central show here on LA Talk Radio. This segment brought to you by D-Dog's Barbecue Rub. Do you make bad barbecue? Come on, admit it. Your barbecue doesn't taste as good as you want it to, and making great barbecue is easy with D-Dog's Barbecue Rubs and Sauces. With all natural ingredients, D-Dog's Barbecue products will make your barbecue taste great and have all your friends and family begging for more. Order some today at ddogsbbq.com. That's DDOGSBBQ.com. And, of course, we all know D-Dog's Barbecue Rub is better than ketchup. Thanks to Harry DeHorse for joining me their opening segment to break down the Belmont here coming up this weekend. I know some of you Centralites like to get down on the ponies. Certainly no more of an authority than Harry DeHorse. But we get to the main topic tonight for this segment and next segment. Always wanted to do a segment on Santa Maria-style barbecue, so why not get an expert in here, Susan Righetti of Susie Q Brand. Susan, thanks for coming on the show tonight. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you for having me.
Susan, I have to admit, I have wanted to do Santa Maria-style barbecue segment or continuing segments for some time now, and this is really kind of a unique way of cooking, and I guess what makes it so unique in a certain respect is it is so, like, almost hyper-regional as far as where it's popular and where a lot of people do it. Certainly not where I am here in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame city of Cleveland, but even in some of the more well-known barbecue areas in the South, Texas, and so forth. So I figured, why not? It just seemed the timing was right after talking with Chris and, you know, getting some of your products. By complete side note, couldn't be any more beautifully packaged if you tried, by the way.
Thank you.
Why not give us, kind of the history of Santa Maria-style barbecue and kind of what it entails, and we'll go from there.
All right. Santa Maria-style barbecue entails three things that make it unique. The method, the way that we do it, the cuts of beef that we use, and the ingredients that we use. And the method is very simple. It's barbecued over our native red oak that is the indigenous wood to this area, usually done on an open pit. Secondly, top sirloin is the traditional cut that most people today know Santa Maria-style barbecue as a tri-tip, which is the bottom part of the sirloin. And thirdly, the ingredients that we use, there's a signature seasoning, most notably Susie Q's brand, but also people around here have a mixture of garlic, salt, and pepper, and different combinations of that. You know, it's just everyone's interpretation of that. But there's another part of the tradition that's very unique, and that's our locally grown Pinquito bean. It's a small pink bean that's a cross between a pink and a small white bean. Looks more like a lentil, very firm texture and very flavorful, and that's a very important component of the Santa Maria-style barbecue.
Would you say that the Pinquito bean is actually the coleslaw of Santa Maria-style barbecue?
I think that's an excellent way of putting it, yes.
Although you don't put it on top of the meat, do you?
Some people do, along with salsa. We always serve a fresh salsa with it rather than a barbecue sauce. So they're a very good side dish. You can put them over, on the side, however you'd like.
So is it too far of a stretch to say, hearing all of the ingredients that are involved and how you're doing it, is this more indigenous to a Latin style of cooking, or where are the origins of Santa Maria style coming from?
The origins go back to the 1800s when the cattle industry was the foundation of California's economy. And the vaqueros would gather in the springtime to brand their cattle, and when they were finished, they would serve a Santa Maria-style barbecue to their neighbors and friends who had helped them. So yes, its roots are, I would say, in the Latin end of the country.
Now, when you talk about barbecuing, or in the Santa Maria style of barbecuing, can you explain what barbecuing means to you and what it means to Santa Maria style? Because there seems to be many definitions of barbecue depending on who you ask and what region of the country you're in.
Right. Well, we go back, as you said, to the Latin roots of it, barbacoa, which means cooked over an open flame, and it's what most people, by today's definition, would probably consider what we do to be grilling. It's cooked over a hot, open flame quickly. The whole process, depending on the thickness of the meat, takes usually around an hour. So I think that would probably be the term that most people would associate it with.
Perhaps it wouldn't be the worst idea, and I probably should have asked this up front. When you say tri-tip, and I know you said it comes from top sirloin. When you're asking, I guess why I find this incredibly frustrating is I'm somebody that obviously likes to try all kinds of barbecue, and I cannot seem to get my hands on a tri-tip to save my life. Is there another name that I can ask for the butcher, or tri-tips more prevalent out there on the West Coast, and you're just not going to be able to find them as readily out here on the East Coast and down in the South?
We're finding that specialty butchers around the country know what they are now. It is the bottom of the sirloin. It's a triangular shaped piece of meat that they used to just grind up for hamburger or cut into stew meat, and one of the local butchers back in the 50s here decided that he would take that muscle from the bottom of the sirloin and try it, and they were just amazed at the results. It's kind of a grainy texture of meat, and there is a website that I can direct you. Actually, on our website, we do have a chart that shows you exactly where it comes from and what to ask your butcher for.
And that website, is that the SusieQBrand.com website?
Yes.
Right, now, you said that it is important to use the indigenous, the red oak wood. Is it something, do you have to use it, and or is it just used in Santa Maria style grilling because, as you said, that's the indigenous, that's the wood that's readily available? If you didn't have it, what would you suggest in order to replace the red oak? Because I don't have that up here.
I would say any other hardwood, maybe a hickory would be similar to it. The red oak does have a unique mellow, sweet flavor that people think is quite unique. But that's what I would recommend, is another hardwood that's readily available. Another thing that you can do is if you season the meat properly, I believe that you can get pretty good results without the wood. So it might not be an authentic Santa Maria style barbecue, but you can still achieve that flavor by seasoning the meat properly.
All right, so how would you suggest seasoning the meat properly?
Well, I would tell you to use BBQ seasoning to be the right way to do it.
Right.
If you can't get your hands on that, I would tell you to do a mixture of salt, garlic, and black pepper.
But is there a process? I mean, are you letting the rub sit on the meat for so long? Are you bringing the meat out and letting it to come up to any type of room temperature? I mean, what's the process aside from just the rub?
No, this process is so simple. We recommend that you simply season the meat and put it on the grill. We have found that when you leave it sitting with the seasoning on it, the salts will leach the juices from the meat. You don't want that. You want to sear those juices in to keep a flavorful, tender piece of meat. So there's no extra preparation, no extra prep time. Just season your meat and put it on your hot grill. All
right, so almost like a steak.
Yes, exactly.
Now, you said this is done traditionally on an open pit. The pictures of the Santa Maria style grills that I see, obviously you have a fire bowl underneath. You have your grill grate, but then you have these big wheels up on top, which looks like it's allowing you to actually raise or lower the meat to get to whatever temperature you want to have the meat sitting at. Is that accurate to say?
That is. And usually we start off with a hot fire, and you try and sear the meat on each side, probably 10, 15 minutes or so to seal in the juices. What I would recommend is that when you hold your hand over the heat, if you can hold it there for about a 7 count, you've got about the right temperature. But usually we'll start the meat on the hotter side of the fire, and then once you've seared it off, kind of move it over to where the coals aren't as hot and let it cook slowly. And a tri-tip typically takes about 45 minutes from start to finish. And we usually pull them off about 125 degrees, let them sit for about 10 minutes, and they're about 140 degrees for a nice medium rare finish.
140 degrees. We're talking with Susan Righetti, SusieQBrand.com. Place where you can go to get your hands on her not only spices, but some other products as well, as we'll get into here following segment. Susan, we're going to hit up a break here real quick. When we come back, we'll actually talk about your brand of products, how you got into the whole thing. We'll also talk about the Far West Tavern, if you're so inclined to talk about that as well. So go ahead and hang with me here just through the break. If you have any questions about Santa Maria-style cooking, please feel free to call in. We'll put you up. You can talk to Susan yourself and ask her your questions, 216-220-0966. You can also email bbqcentralradio@gmail.com if you want to ask that way. We will come back with Susan Righetti, talk more Santa Maria style. You're listening to the BBQ Central show here on LA Talk Radio. Stand by. We'll be right back.
Forget going from site to site to get all your barbecue and grilling supplies and make your first and final stop at fredsmusicandbarbecue.com. In the market for a new barbecue pit, we have all the big name brands like Big Green Egg and more. As a matter of fact, Fred's is staffed by eggheads and carries all the parts and accessories for the Big Green Egg. More of a pellet head, you say? Fred's is the pellet grill superstore with grills in stock from Traeger, Green Mountain, and Country Smokers from Louisiana Grills. Fred also carries smokers from Cook Shack, Bradley, and Weber as well as a full lineup of charcoal grills. And once you're outfitted with your new smoker or grill, you'll find absolutely everything you need to make your barbecue or grilling experience a success. Fred is also the creator and distributor of Tasty Licks barbecue products, including their great line of rubs, spices, and sauces. You gotta try them. You can also get your hands on a full lineup of marinades, accessories, lump charcoal, wood chips, pellets, chunks, and even the great grilling tools from Stephen Reichland of Barbecue U fame. Check Fred out on the web at fredsmusicandbbq.com or check out their fully stocked showroom in beautiful Shillington, PA.
Barbecue has never been easier with the Barbecue Guru. The Barbecue Guru is a temperature control and monitor for all pits, charcoal, wood, electric, your pit. It easily attaches to any smoker or pit and gives you simple, trouble-free control of your temperatures so you can make championship quality barbecue every time and all the time. And it's location-free. Take it anywhere. This amazing breakthrough in barbecue technology is a microprocessor-controlled draft system that uses temperature monitors and a small fan to keep your temperatures constant. The stainless steel Guru Pit Minder gives you a choice of controls from 90 to 370 degrees. So cold smoking, pepper drying, making cheese or jerky, or fabulous briskets and ribs is nothing short of effortless. The Procom 4 lets you monitor your pit from up to 600 feet away. And there's more. Check out the full line of products and accessories for the future of barbecue with new items on the way. Visit thebarbecueguru.com. That's www.thebbqguru.com or call 1-800-288-GURU.
Now, let's get back to the Barbecue Central show on LA Talk Radio.
All right, back and better than ever. Barbecue Central show here on LA Talk Radio. This portion of the show brought to you by the Barbecue Guru, makers of the DigiQ 2, Procom 4 wireless, and the brand new CyberQ 2 unit. Automatic pit temperature control devices to make your barbecue and grilling life easier, not to mention a whole host of other products that will do that as well. Visit them on the web at thebbqguru.com or give them a call at 800-288-GURU. It's the Barbecue Guru. All right, getting back to our discussion with Santa Maria-style barbecue, we welcome back Susan Righetti of Susie Q Brand, and we'll be getting into actually her products here in just a few minutes. But just kind of closing out the Santa Maria-style, general overview of the meat you're using and the process. We had mentioned the pinquito beans, and actually I've been using the rub pretty much on everything over the past 4 or 5 days since I've gotten my hands on it, and it's really kind of almost a wonderful overall spice or application for a lot of items. It's not, some rubs specifically are going to be just for meat or just for vegetable. They're made for specific purposes. But withholding the meat, it was good on potatoes and chicken and pork. This is a great overall rub.
It is. That's the beauty of it. We've found a cult following amongst our customers who can't live without it because they use it in the morning on their eggs, lunchtime on cottage cheese, and in the evening when they're cooking protein. So it's just really a great all-purpose savory seasoning for anything you'd normally season with ordinary salt and pepper.
And aside from the pinquito beans, which I actually cooked up the package that you had sent me over the weekend with some just hamburgers and hot dogs. Unfortunately, couldn't find any tri-tip. And so the general review was that obviously they were very tasty, but I think people saw them and immediately started to think texture of baked beans through the eyes. And then once you got them in your mouth, as you had pointed out right up front, firmer in texture. Again, definitely flavorful. And I think we kind of won some fans with the pinquito beans.
Well, good. Yes, people often think that they haven't cooked them long enough, but that is their nature.
I thought about that.
You haven't done anything wrong. Yeah. They're a great little bean. And the mystery behind them is still not solved, and we're going to get to the bottom of that one of these days because no one's really sure how they landed here in this valley, but they've made their home here and have become a very important part of our culinary tradition.
One of the questions I did want to ask you about, since I had never cooked these before, I had no idea if after you were done cooking them, do you drain off the liquid? Is it supposed to thicken? How do you kind of finish these up when you're done cooking them?
The liquid is traditionally a very brothy liquid. It's not thick like a chili. And what you will find with our blended seasonings that once they sit for a while, once they have chilled, they will thicken up. But traditionally, when they are freshly prepared, it is a brothy, thin sauce. So you did everything correct. Okay.
That's good. We didn't know. We were just kind of winging it. But, again, overall flavor was good. The firmness was kind of a nice change of pace, and everybody agreed that while they were probably a little bit shocked because they were probably anticipating the baked bean type of texture, and then, of course, you're smacked in the face with its firmness, everybody said that the taste was really good. So, again, nice change of pace on that. And speaking of change of paces, I wanted to, after, you go in, you kind of read about the history that you actually have with Santa Maria-style barbecue. It's kind of a very evolved and involved type of history that you have, to include the Far West Tavern. For the folks that don't know about it, maybe give us a little history on that restaurant, what your ties are to that, and how that all came to be.
Well, the Far Western was opened in 1958. My father is a cattle rancher, and he decided that he wanted to start entertaining people the way that we did at the ranch when we had our branding. So he, along with a cousin who was a partner, opened the restaurant. It's an old hotel that was built in the 1800s, and it's on Highway 1 in the town of Guadalupe, which is on the west end of the Santa Maria Valley. And he used to eat there when he was a young man working in the hayfields in the area, and he used to have rib steak and spaghetti dinner for 25 cents. And so it was his dream to get in there and open that place back up, and they did it. And it was right when Vandenberg Air Force Base was just gearing up. And we had so many people that came here with the contractors that were building the Air Force Base that left the area and traveled across the country and across the world that carried the good word about the Far Western with them. And today, their house specialty is a bullseye steak, which is a ribeye prepared in the traditional Santa Maria style way. Of course, the menu always includes pinquito beans and salsa and all the other things we've talked about. And the cowhide curtains that he hung on the window back in 1958 are still a very important part of the decor, along with the red flocked velvet wallpaper. And it's quite a place. A beautiful old Brunswick bar, mahogany bar, that we're told came around the Horn on a ship, and it's just a historic landmark in this area. And we were very delighted this past week to be named in Sunset Magazine as one of the top 10 of the West's best barbecue drinks. So pretty proud of that.
Are you guys pretty busy on an overall week-to-week basis? Do you experience peaks of better sales than not? Are you guys pretty steady? And is it kind of like a landmark place to be?
It is a landmark, and on any given day, if you came in for lunch, you could see some of the Valley's farmers and ranchers there, in their work clothes, sitting at the bar having a businessman's lunch. Or if you come on the weekends, you might run into folks from the metropolitan area. We have a lot of people that travel from Los Angeles and San Francisco to have a meal with us. So it's kind of a mix of both.
And then to kind of close out the conversation here tonight, obviously we want to talk about the brand of products that you have. This was something that you kind of wanted to introduce out to the consuming public to make aware of the Santa Maria style. So tell us when you started the Suzy Q brand and what the process was behind getting it started and how you've grown since the 80s when you started.
Suzy Q started in 1981 when my husband, who's also a cattle rancher and farmer, raised a crop of pinquito beans and decided I should market them for the restaurant to sell at the Far Western. So we did that, and we started a little mail order program, and from that, so many of our customers were asking us to also put instructions into the package on telling people how to prepare a Santa Maria-style barbecue, how to season the meat, what cuts of meat to use, many of the questions you've asked me tonight. So from that, we put together our blend of seasoning that we used here at the ranch and kind of a combination with what we used at the restaurant, and included that. And from that, the product line has grown to include several other things. Now we have the red oak chips, we have a salsa, and we have a rib glaze, all things that are part of the Santa Maria-style barbecue tradition. We also do a strawberry pie glaze mix. Strawberries are another huge crop here in our area. But that's how it started. It was just a simple crop of beans that we grew. And over the years, as I said, we started as a mail order program and then moved into the wholesale sector. And we service some of the major chains here in our region, Albertsons, Vons, Costco, Smart and Final. And then we go into a lot of specialty shops outside of the area. And a large portion of our business is done through our website with our direct to our mail order consumers.
We're talking with Susan Righetti here from Suzy Q brand. Obviously, why don't you go ahead and give us the website where people can go to obviously read the history on Santa Maria-style barbecue and get some recipes, but more importantly, grab some spices and pie fillings and beans and all that good stuff.
Our website is suzyqbrand.com, and it's SUSIEQBRAND.com, and we currently have a promotional code for your listeners. BBQ Central is the promotional code, and they will receive a 20% discount on any orders between now and the Friday before Father's Day, which is June 19th.
Wow. Well, thank you very much. I know the Centralites love a deal and some incentive to get over to a website and pick some up. That's very great and very gracious of you. I appreciate that.
Well, thank you. And if you ever come to the Central Coast, we'd love to take you out to the Far Western and have dinner with you.
If I get out there, you will be the first place I hit up, believe me. There's no doubt about that. This is Susan Righetti, SuzyQbrand.com. Again, 20% off until the June 19th, so go ahead and head over there, SuzyQbrand.com. Pick up yourself some rubs and some great spices, and just check out all the great stuff that Susan has out there available for sale. Highly recommended. Susan, thanks for coming on tonight and sharing the history and the process of Santa Maria-style barbecue. Again, something I've always wanted to do. Seems like the plans have finally aligned, and get an expert like you to come on and really help explain from top to bottom. I certainly appreciate it, and hopefully we can have you on again soon.
Well, thank you, Greg, and thank you so much for your interest in what is a very important part of my life.
Not a problem, and thank you for coming on. I appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Have a great night. Susan Righetti. That's right. Centralites, I know you're foaming at the mouth right now for 20% off your order. SuzyQbrand.com. That's SUSIEQ brand.com. Enter in BBQ Central as the promo code. That was unsolicited by me, by the way. That was her doing all by herself, so I appreciate Susan Righetti for doing that. Certainly no excuse now why you can't go there and give it a try. SuzyQbrand.com, 20% off at checkout. All right, let's give away some Laverne Gingrich Smoky Mountain Barbecue Sauce and Rub. Caller in wins 216-220-0966. We'll get a winner. We'll wrap this bad bitch up, and then we'll set up for next Tuesday. Stand by. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the BBQ Central Show.
The future of barbecue is already here at thebarbecueguru.com. From the amazing guru that monitors and controls the temperatures of any charcoal, wood, or electric pit to the Caldera Tallboy knockdown smoker. Yes, it breaks down and stores flat, yet it's still a robust, sturdy, portable cooker and smokehouse. It also serves as an efficient temperature-controlled convection oven using wood or charcoal. The Tallboy is designed to fit all catering pans and can be used as a warming oven. You can cook in any style you choose. Make ribs, chicken, jerky, vegetables, smoked cheese, whatever you want. Take it to KCBS competitions and unload it from the trunk of your car. TheBarbecueGuru.com is where you'll find the Caldera 3-Bay Caterer. It's stainless steel and uses charcoal or sterno for chafing purposes. And it doubles as a 3-bay sink or wash station with hot water and knocks down in seconds with no tools required for transportation and storage. The future of barbecue is here at thebarbecueguru.com. That's www.thebbqguru.com or call 1-800-288-GURU.
Forget going from site to site to get all your barbecue and grilling supplies and make your first and final stop at fredsmusicandbarbecue.com. In the market for a new barbecue pit, we have all the big name brands like Big Green Egg and more. As a matter of fact, Fred's is staffed by eggheads and carries all the parts and accessories for the Big Green Egg. More of a pellet head, you say? Fred's is the pellet grill superstore with grills in stock from Traeger, Green Mountain, and Country Smokers from Louisiana Grills. Fred also carries smokers from Cook Shack, Bradley, and Weber as well as a full lineup of charcoal grills. And once you're outfitted with your new smoker or grill, you'll find absolutely everything you need to make your barbecue or grilling experience a success. Fred is also the creator and distributor of Tasty Licks barbecue products, including their great line of rubs, spices, and sauces. You gotta try them. You can also get your hands on a full lineup of marinades, accessories, lump charcoal, wood chips, pellets, chunks, and even the great grilling tools from Stephen Reichland of Barbecue U fame. Check Fred out on the web at fredsmusicandbbq.com or check out their fully stocked showroom in beautiful Shillington, PA.
This is Jim.
And this is Mike, and you're listening to Greg on the BBQ Central Show, the place for all things important to the world of barbecue.
When you're ready for even more guy stuff, check out the Mind of Men podcast for news and views on politics, tech, sports, tools, home repair, cigars, drinks, barbecue, and more.
You can find us on iTunes or at mindofmen.com.
To get on the BBQ Central Show, call 216-220-0966.
Once again, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
Right back and better than ever BBQ Central Show here on LA Talk Radio. I see you guys calling in, but it looks like we're going to area code 208. Name and where you're calling from. This is Barbecue Central Radio.
Yeah, this is George Takei in Boise, Idaho.
George Takei, you be.
Hey, Greg, this is John. Just calling in to say hello. Good show. Like it.
John, how are you?
Thanks for the vine.
Yeah, thanks for the vine.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So you're not down? Well, then, okay, you're just calling to say hi. So let me add conference, let me add this in. Area code 706, you're on with John Dawson of Patio Daddy-O Barbecue and Greg Rempe of Barbecue Central Radio. Name and where you're calling from.
Randy Morris, calling from Lynette, Alabama.
Hello, Randy. How are you?
Doing great, Greg. Enjoyed the show.
Good. Appreciate it. You interested in the Smoky Mountain Barbecue Rub?
Absolutely. Got to give it a try.
All right. Well, go ahead and send me your shipping information via email, bbqcentralradio@gmail.com, and I will get you hooked right up.
Great. I'll get the email out in a second.
All right. Thanks, Randy.
Thanks, Greg.
It's Randy. John, that was Randy. He just won.
I'm down with Randy.
Yeah, Randy. Alabama. Hey,
Alabama.
John, I meant to tell you, This portion of the show brought to you by Yoder Smoky Mountain Barbecues. Did you know that they were the leading online distributor of Meadow Creek barbecue equipment? That's right. These pig smokers, these barbecue smokers, pig roasters, chicken cookers, grills, handcrafted in the Amish country of Lancaster, Pennsylvania. And their goal is to give you outstanding value for the price, help you enjoy easy and profitable barbecues for years to come. They also carry a complete line of rubs and sauces, which we just gave away some to Randy. Visit them at SeriousBBQs.net. Not .com, .net.
And it's not Lancaster.
Damn, you know what? I'm sorry. It's SeriousBBQs.com. Need to read the whole copy.
It's right there in front of you.
No, Lancaster. I had my uncle lived in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, there for a little while. So
my whole family's from the State College area, so I know the area quite well.
All right. Well, great. Didn't need to know that, but thanks for sharing.
Thanks for the family reunion.
Yeah, great. So, so the microphone doesn't sound that good then, right?
Well, I didn't want it to go public, but no, I just was saying that the old one sounded better. It had more dulcet tones.
More dulcet.
I don't know.
Does
see it on the podcast.
Does this one just sound too hot? Maybe I just need to do some adjusting.
Yeah, it sounds like it's like it's almost cutting out. And it's just the bottom end, like the bass is like completely missing compared to the old one. So
yeah, missing.
Just do a little side by side with an old podcast and this podcast, and I'm sure you'll see what I'm talking about. But,
all right. Well, John, always appreciate you calling in and bringing me down. Thanks a lot.
Hey, I'm just here to help, man.
All right, buddy. Thanks for calling in. Take care, John.
Bye.
Patio, Daddy-O. Thanks for everybody else calling in. Congratulations to Randy for winning. Did want to tell you a little bit about, I know last couple of weeks I've been talking about this contest over at She Smoke. This is Julie Reinhardt putting together a competition. It's the one where you videotape a barbecue or grilling event that you have, 1 to 3 minutes. Then you go to shesmoke.com/contest, and you watch her trailer, and then in order for you to win, you upload your particular video, 1 to 3 minutes in length, and you talk about what barbecue and grilling means to you. And the good news is that the contest has been extended. It started May 15th, was going to go till June 15th, but has now been extended till July 7th. Oh, yeah. Plenty of time for you to get out your high-definition video cameras and do your substantial post-editing job in Final Cut Pro for your chance to win. I believe currently the biggest prize is like the $400 Traeger Junior grill that Traeger's ponied up, so that's it's pretty awesome. Usually do this on the front side of things, but wanted to tell you about the Kansas City Barbecue Society Team of the Year standings. Now, I'm going to go off of memory here, but if memory serves me correctly, QOW has been in the number one spot since we've turned to calendar year 09. But guess what? Mike Davis of Lotta Bull Barbecue has caught and passed QOW. Mike Davis of Lotta Bull now sitting in the number one spot. QOW dropping to number 2. Florida Skin and Bones now number 3. Munchin' Hogs at the Hilton, number 4. That was last year's Team of the Year. Number 5 is Four Legs Up Barbecue. Number 6, Wild Bunch Butt Burners. Number 7, 4 Men and a Pig. Number 8, JP Custom Smoke. Number 9, Pellet Envy, Rod Gray making an appearance back in the top 10. And rounding out the top 10, Little Pigtown Barbecue. They've been in and out all year as well. So a hearty congratulations to the current top 10 there in the KCBS. I'm going to go and take a wild guess that Rob Bagby of the Florida Barbecue Association, Swamp Boys, is probably leading point standings Team of the Year over at FBA. I didn't check this week, but I know he's been pretty much at the top since the beginning there. So congratulations to all those people. And let me do this real quick. I know I missed a couple phone calls on the way in, people looking to get the ever-popular free rub. Again, thanks to Laverne Gingrich of Smoky Mountain Barbecue for donating the prize this week. Don't forget, and I see Randy on the email has went ahead and already emailed me his stuff to do it. Got to enjoy that. So joining me right now here for just the few more minutes of the show is the host of the show that comes up after me at 7 Pacific. That's 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, Laura Nickerson. Laura, how are you this week, this Tuesday?
I'm doing awesome. How are you?
Yeah, doing good. We learned a lot about Santa Maria-style barbecue, which is actually very indigenous to Santa Maria Valley right there in the left coast there of California.
They make nice wines, too.
Yeah, that was part of the whole hype for me to want to get out there is get the new kind of that very super hyper regional barbecue of the tri-tip over the red oak and that special Santa Maria seasoning, plus some great Cabernets and Pinots and all that good stuff.
That sounds fantastic.
Yeah. Let's hook up. Let's do that.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. So what are the broads talking about this week?
Well, if you drink too much wine and eat too much barbecue, you can fall in love and get married. And we are talking about weddings tonight.
Uh-oh.
I know.
Four ladies talking about weddings. That could be a lot longer than 2 hours of show, I bet.
I know, we could plan your wedding if you call in.
That's right. So are you guys going to be covering anything in particular, or is it going to be right from, when you say, I'm a fiance, you're a fiancé, let's start planning?
Yeah, it's sort of the good, the bad, and the ugly. A lot of things like myths and how to be a good wedding guest, and if you're a bridesmaid, what you should do, and things the groom does. So hopefully things that people don't already know, a little more interesting information.
Here's my piece of advice that you can share with the other broads. And this would be specific either probably to the mother of the bride and then the bride. Don't sweat the minutia, because nobody cares how many M&Ms are in the little doily thing wrapped up with the that curly Q crappy wraparound stuff that you leave on the table. Nobody's going to remember that.
Yeah, those candy-coated almonds. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, if you didn't put them on, nobody would notice. So when you're stressing out about that, there's bigger things to worry about. Leave the minutia out of it. That's my advice to the broads tonight.
That is great advice and great use of a large word.
Yes, thank you. So, and I did want to thank you for helping out with the giveaway last week. You guys teased the hell out of it, and then you got a lucky winner. So appreciate you backing me up last week.
Well, thank you. We'll take all your barbecue rubs at any time.
All right. Well, I appreciate that. And you broads have a great show talking about weddings. This is Laura Nickerson from Broad Topics, and she'll be coming up after me, 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. Thank you very much, Laura.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
All right. Take care. And that's Laura Nickerson. And I'm trying to get out of here. There we go. Next week, Sarah Marriott of HomeCookingStar.com. That's a contest. That's a barbecue sauce contest. She's going to be talking to us about, how the contest is going to be going, how you could potentially be pocketing many lucrative dollars if you win that contest, all that good stuff. Thanks to my guests, Harry DeHorse, first segment, breaking down the Belmont coming up this week. Mind That Bird. Dunkirk. There's that other one. Charity something. Charity case. Whatever. Email me. I'll have recorded this and listened back by the time I post these results. Thanks to LA Talk Radio for running the sound. Dina, thank you. Don't forget to listen to Broad Topics talking about weddings coming up after me at 10 o'clock Eastern. That's 7 p.m. Pacific. Sarah Marriott of HomeCookingStar.com next week. Lots of great shows lined up. Going to get this mic thing straightened out. And until next week, I am your program host and proud U.S. American, Greg Reppy, saying good night now.
Forget going from site to site to get all your barbecue and grilling supplies and make your first and final stop at fredsmusicandbarbecue.com. In the market for a new barbecue pit, we have all the big name brands like Big Green Egg and more. As a matter of fact, Fred's is staffed by eggheads and carries all the parts and accessories for the Big Green Egg. More of a pellet head, you say? Fred's is the Pellet Grill Superstore with grills in stock from Traeger, Green Mountain, and Country Smokers from Louisiana Grills. Fred also carries smokers from Cook Shack, Bradley, and Weber as well as a full lineup of charcoal grills. And once you're outfitted with your new smoker or grill, you'll find absolutely everything you need to make your barbecue or grilling experience a success. Fred is also the creator and distributor of Tasty Licks barbecue products, including their great line of rubs, spices, and sauces. You gotta try them. You can also get your hands on a full lineup of marinades, accessories, lump charcoal, wood chips, pellets, chunks, and even the great grilling tools from Stephen Reichland of Barbecue U fame. Check Fred out on the web at fredsmusicandbbq.com or check out their fully stocked showroom in beautiful Shillington, PA.
Barbecue has never been easier with the Barbecue Guru. The Barbecue Guru is a temperature control and monitor for all pits, charcoal, wood, electric, your pit. It easily attaches to any smoker or pit and gives you simple, trouble-free control of your temperatures so you can make championship quality barbecue every time and all the time. And it's location-free. Take it anywhere. This amazing breakthrough in barbecue technology is a microprocessor-controlled draft system that uses temperature monitors and a small fan to keep your temperatures constant. The stainless steel Guru Pit Minder gives you a choice of controls from 90 to 370 degrees. So cold smoking, pepper drying, making cheese or jerky, or fabulous briskets and ribs is nothing short of effortless. The Procom 4 lets you monitor your pit from up to 600 feet away. And there's more. Check out the full line of products and accessories for the future of barbecue with new items on the way. Visit thebarbecueguru.com. That's www.thebbqguru.com. Or call 1-800-288-GURU.